Good day friends, we are currently discussing a video on prompting, how to do prompting to gather insights from management discussion and analysis. The prior video I discussed about the overview of what details or the sections it contains, the management discussion analysis, and where to get this information. If you have not checked my previous video, please do check my previous video. And now we'll go to the prompting. Here again, we are not going to give summarize the generic prompt. We are going to give a very structured prompt. You can see it's a very long prompt. It has always been my preference to give each of these as parts rather than the entire bulk. So we'll see what the prompting covers. Here we are going to see what is the industry and market analysis. What is the company's market share? What is the company doing? All those things. Company's core business. So these first two sections are to cover the company and the industry. Then coming to pricing power. So many questions are, I have put so many questions. Can't I just mention pricing power and leave it? No, I just want to understand what factors influence the pricing power. Does the company has the premium products, which is say it has gold as well as diamond. Diamond is a premium product where it has more pricing power. Those kind of insights I want to get from the Gen AI this thing summary. So I'm trying to drive the Gen AI to see for these aspects in the MDA report. That is the reason why I am giving the section and throwing a few pointers. These are the pointers of my interest. Now you're free to modify or to remove or increase based on your interest and needs. Then I'm talking about competition. So are there any competition locally and globally? Are there new competition expected? How does the company outfit their competition? What way they are better? They have a cost leadership or they have a advanced technology and so on. Another possibility is sometimes key customers become self-sustaining. Like I am a provider of raw materials to a particular company, and now the company decides to manufacture its own raw materials. So in a way, they also become our competitor. So all these are structured in this prompt. Then future growth plans. What the company thinks about growth plans for the next 1 to 5 years. Whether they like to have their organic or inorganic growth. What are the expenditures? So these are the things which are covered here. Then drivers. What are the real growth drivers for the company? And then comes the regulatory environment. There are many companies which are subject to strong regulatory presence where which might affect their competition, market share, or even profitability. So I'm trying to decode those angles here. Then we saw opportunities and threats, risks and challenges. So these questions are directed towards risk and challenges. Mind you, all these prompts, this entire prompting section has completely come from the earlier video where we discussed about what all information can be or is available in the MDA section. So the kind of input you have and the kind of output you want determines the prompting. So one important thing you have to notice is I have mentioned an explicit line saying that limit the analysis to only what is explicitly stated in the report. Why I put this was when I was testing the prompt, as I told in my previous videos, always run a prompt, test it, refine the prompt till you are satisfied. So in that part of cycle, I got to check that it was mentioning about global companies like Rio Tinto, etc. So I told that I don't find this. Where did you get this information? Then it says this was inference based on global industry knowledge. So it is talking something which the model already knows. I'm not interested in that. I want only output from what I attach. So hence this line, limit the analysis to what is explicitly stated in the report. Now straight away we go to the prompting chat GPT. I'm going to upload the 10 years MDA statement, NMDC 10 years MDA statement and this entire prompt. Okay. So it is now throwing out inside section by section. Since we gave a very detailed prompt, it is now responding in the same structure whatever I had shared with the model. So what we will do is first once this is, now I have loaded the entire prompt. The second attempt, my preference would always to be to give in parts. I don't want to give an entire dump of this prompt, because in our earlier videos we did see that the difference between giving an entire prompt as well as a prompt as a parts, where you get more insight when you give prompts in parts. So my preference has always to be given in parts, but for the sake of the prompt library where I save these prompts, I prefer to have it as a single prompt with all the different perspectives. Okay, I think it has already done with. Okay, so when we compare the output, when first we talked about industry market analysis, it says about what is the industry growth. You quite often talk about the future growth, right? This is where you are going to get the future growth, how the industry looks like. Okay, then who are the key players? That is the competitors. What is the overall market share and what is its plan? See, now it is producing 40 million tons. By 2030, it's targeting 100 million tons. So these are the different industrial market insights. Then comes the about the company information, about NMDC, where and all it has factories, which are its primary revenue sources, and the recent financial performance. Then pricing power. It clearly says that pricing is dependent on government policy, demand supply. So in a way, it's a cyclic industry. Then whether it has any premium products, yes, it has high grade iron ore, which commands premium in the product. So what you understand here is, here in the prompting, I had asked a question: does the company produce premium products with pricing advantages? If this question was not there, you may not have got this response. So it is always best to have a pointed question to get a very distilled response from the model. Say if this information is not available in the report, it will not get published. So it's always better to have a very strong prompt to considering different. See here again, despite me telling not to go anything outside the report, it still takes about Rio Tinto. We'll question it back. We'll question it back now. Then competitive edge, how the competition is there. Steel players are acquiring competitive risk. What is the risk? So steel players are acquiring ore mines, reducing customer base. It is losing customers. So what are the future growth plans? 1 to 3 years, what is the plan? After 5 years, what are the growth drivers? Regulatory environment. As I told you, mining is a company which is heavily regulated by the government. So how it affects the performance of the company. So opportunities and threats. So we'll uh, we'll close this report, but we are going to ask. There is no mention of Rio Tinto, right? What was there? Rio Tinto and Rio Tinto, Rio Tinto or BHP in the report. Where did you get this information? You get this information. So this is the way you need to check and refine actually. GNA can be wrong. It could be wrong. It says the report does not explicitly mention. That was an incorrect assumption. I strictly adhere to what is there. Yes, I wanted to refine the analysis based on yes, refine with only what is in the report. So this is despite me mentioning the prompt, limit the analysis. So I should tell that in a more stronger or a harsh way, not to go for your own interpretation, only go stick with the report. So this time we should not get that Rio Tinto company name. Where did we find that? Under what section? We found that under pricing power competition. Under competition, we saw it under competition. Now, yeah, now you don't have Rio Tinto. It is eliminated. So it has done the analysis based on purely what is the report in hand. So my preference, I told you, was to give it in parts. See, when I'm talking about pricing power, there are just some 6 points, around 6 points on pricing power. Let me give this prompt alone separately and try to see how the quality of response coming through the model. See, earlier there were 6 points. Now you can see there is a huge input on the pricing power. So you see the difference of giving the entire prompt dumped versus giving only a small portion of the prompt. The quality of output what you get is very high. I just want to double check, is this information only from a report or have you pulled any additional information from your knowledge base? Okay, fine. I'm going to stop it because again, it says that it is based on whatever report you give, and I have not added anything different. So this is the way we'll be using prompts for analyzing the MDA report. My preference would be to chunk the prompts. So first time I will run this prompt, gather the inferences, then I will run about the business overview, then the pricing power, so that I get the maximum insights from this report. So till our next video, bye friends. Thank you very much for staying till here. Bye.